Channel 4 News team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
What in the name? No!
It has been named one of the best comedies of all time, as well as one of the most quoted movies of all time. Anchorman will celebrate its 20th anniversary next year.
A new book gives us a behind-the-scenes look at the film. It's called Kind of a Big Deal, How Anchorman Stayed Classy and Became the Most Iconic Comedy of the 21st Century. Author Saul Austerlitz joins us this morning. Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, I think we all thought it was funny at the time, but how did it become iconic and impacting comedies going forward?
Well, I think it really demonstrated that it was able to be a kind of stinging satire of misogyny and of what happens in a male-dominated workplace when a woman intrudes on that territory and threatens the men. But I think it also became hugely popular in part because of the way it translated into memes and was made available for social media. And it just became a kind of movie that was passed hand to hand. You know, one fan recommended it to the next. It became something that was really precious to people, I think.
And it opened the door to kind of, was it this family of R-rated comedies that happened after this? Is that the first time that happened? I'm thinking of like 40-Year-Old Virgin and all of those that came after.
Yeah, it definitely kicked off a real renaissance of really brilliant comedies about men and how men talk to each other and how they behave when they're amongst themselves. And those movies had some flaws, but I think also in retrospect, now that comedy as a film genre has shrunk so much, it's easier to appreciate the ways in which Anchorman was part of a really brilliant moment in comedy that we don't have at the moment.
How important was improv in making this film? I would imagine in making a film generally, like you wouldn't want to waste a lot of film and time making it, but it sounds like they did a lot of that in this film.
Yeah, I mean, usually using improv in a movie is the definition of setting your money on fire. But for Adam McKay and Will Ferrell, you know, they came from Saturday Night Live. That was really how they got trained as comedians. And so it was important to them to bring that model in. And as soon as they had cast the film, they sat down with the people they had cast and said, you know, we're going to use improvisation. We want you to be comfortable bringing in your own lines and your own ideas. We want you to be comfortable with us shouting out lines and you trying those out. And all of that really contributed enormously to making for the brilliant movie that they ended up with.
They famously used our local broadcaster legend, Bill Curtis, to do the voiceover. It is interesting they reached out to Ted Koppel for something, though, too, didn't they?
Yes, they tried to recruit Ted Koppel for a role that ended up getting cut from the movie of a kind of mentor to Ron Burgundy. And they described it as being the fastest no they ever received.
They didn't want any part of it.
What is the reason behind Will Ferrell and Adam McKay? Did they have some kind of falling out over this?
Not over Anchorman, but in the years that followed, they created a production company together, and Will Ferrell was much more interested in continuing along the line of making kind of straightforward comedies. And Adam McKay moved into the direction of films like The Big Short and Vice, and also producing more dramatic fare like Succession. And so they really had a kind of difference of interests in terms of the kinds of things they wanted to make. And then the sort of final straw was about the television show Winning Time, and Adam McKay ended up casting John C. Reilly in the main role on the show about the 1980s Lakers instead of Will Ferrell, and didn't tell him in advance, and that seemed to have caused some real friction in their relationship.
Huh.
Go ahead.
No, you know, it's there was probably a generation watching that movie that didn't realize how real that was in the industry back in the 70s. But in looking back at 2004, is there something that makes you squeamish watching it now? Did they get something wrong in making that movie in 2004?
You know, I think most of the jokes still work really well. The movie is really carefully calibrated so that Veronica Corningstone always gets the last laugh and always kind of comes out on top. I think some of the jokes come off as being somewhat homophobic, and those jokes haven't aged quite as well. But I think on the whole, the movie feels like it is a demonstration of the thing that we would eventually call Me Too before we had the words for it.
Are we gonna? It doesn't seem like there's a lot of new original comedies lately. Am I or have I just not seen them?
No, I think you're absolutely right. In writing this book, I was thinking about the role of American comedy, and there hasn't really been a comedy that people have been passionate about and that has been a big hit since Bridesmaids, which was over a decade ago.
Yeah, interesting. Well, for more, you can follow Saul on X or check out his website, saulosterlitz.com. Thanks for being with us. The name of the book is kind of a big deal.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks.